But the amazing thing is, I have a declaration. We are the church, and it is so good to be home. My name is Scott Lycan. My wife and I kind of were launched into being senior leaders here at Antioch Community Church of Boone. If you're a first-time visitor, thank you. If you're a first-time visitor, we're very weird people, and we're trying to figure out how to follow Jesus and get to know Him better, and everything else is secondary.
That's right.
Everything else is secondary.
Yeah. Yes.
And I've been gone 2 weeks, and missed you all, and we're just really excited to see what God's doing in the midst. While I was gone, the kids have grown. I mean, golly, I don't even. Some of the kids are like gone from babies to boys. Let me read something as kind of a segue, because I'm not preaching today. That's part of the neat thing is I'm not preaching today. While we're in worship, this came. And those who've been stuck with us for a while know this. I come back to this passage again and again. The end of Exodus 5, the beginning of Exodus 6. Israelites, God's shown up on the scene. The Israelites are looking for a deliverance. They want to be changed. They want to see change come. They want to see bondages broken. And out of that, when God shows up, it doesn't get easier, it gets harder. And the Bricks Without Straw chapter, you're going to read great stuff. Exodus is just an amazing verse. But God says this to a complaining people that are a little stiff-necked and just want it smooth and easy. Therefore say to the Israelites, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the yoke. God delivers from the yoke. I will free you from being slaves. I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with mighty acts of judgment. Easy to forget, God's still in the miracle business. I will take you as my own people, and I will be your God. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God, who brought you out from the yoke of the Egyptians, and I'll bring you to the promised land I swore with an uplifted hand to give to Abraham. He promises this to Isaac and to Jacob with an uplifted hand. I will give it to you as a possession, for I am the Lord. And if there's anything we'd like to communicate to you today, it's that He's still in that business, and He's still that same God. And He proved it, not only in bringing deliverance, but in bringing Jesus into our midst. And He is the God who has restored us to Himself by the mighty acts of giving His firstborn Son, by giving Jesus as the sacrifice to bridge from heaven to earth. And we're in the business. We get to be sons and daughters that see the redemptive hand of God expanding in our midst. And so it's from that we really come from a theology that says that everyone here is a minister of the gospel. For you're a son and a daughter of the King. And we're called to bring lightness and hope and faith and freedom and deliverance and redemption and restoration to all the people of the earth, all of those around us and into the uttermost nations. That's called following Jesus. We call that discipleship, and Antioch Boone exists to make disciples, to live on mission, not as though it's a chore, but because we get to walk with Him where He's going already. And we just have the honor and the privilege not to grunt it out or grind it out, but that He delivers people. He is in the miracle working business all the time. And that we do that together. And that we are called to be a people that love one another well. That's in our culture. That's who we are called to be through difficulty, through troubles and trials. And that means that we speak the truth in love to one another and love each other well. That we honor those that disagree with us, even those that would hate us, even those that would spit on us, even those that would Consider us irrelevant. What could be worse in America than being irrelevant? And that's what we exist for, is to see God in our midst and to love one another well and to love the unlovable, those on the margins. So, that's why I'm home from California. It's good to be here. We get to celebrate along with this passage God's deliverance today. There are three, and we get to be ministered to this morning by the children, the kids ministry, because they're going to minister to us around one of the three great feasts of the Jewish year. And there are three great feasts. And could someone yell out one of those great, of the three great feasts? What would one of those be? Feast of the Tabernacle.
Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur, yes. And what's Yom Kippur celebrate?
Day of Atonement.
Day of Atonement. It's one of the great holidays. There are three feasts that you do not want to miss. Passover, there's another one. What's Passover celebrate? This very thing. Go ahead. Another one. Passover, Tabernacles, Passover, and Pentecost. Those are the three feasts that are just like, can't miss this on the calendar. And first fruits, so it's this picture. In my mind, I remember this picture of God frees us, He pays the price, and we go free. Passover. Grace, death has passed us by. Grace, love of God. We can't do it, but He can. Passover. And then we have the idea that He is tabernacling with us. He's going with us to where He's taking us. He's not leaving us alone and just giving us, Google Maps. He's really with us in the midst of this. And what's the last one? And Pentecost. And there's a harvest. He leads us into that place of harvest where the first fruits are promised to us. And really, that's a lot of why we do Sunday. We give the first fruits of the first day of the week on Sunday. The first day of the week is His, because we know that He's got provision for everything we need for the rest of the week. Anyway, I'm preaching. It's good to be home. One quick announcement around tabernacling and that celebration where the kids are going to lead us into. The weather's going to start getting cool. I've been in California where it is not cool. It's just sandy and cool. I'm back here where it's cold and my tomatoes are frozen. And my tomatoes are frozen. I do want to announce this morning, as of October 1st, the day before the celebration of Tabernacles, God is tabernacling with us. Beginning October 1st, we have a new place to meet. It will never be the church, but it is where the church can meet. So we have a new tabernacle beginning October 1st at 1636 Highway 421 South. If you're looking for it, it is currently listed for sale, and we didn't buy it. Don't freak. That would freak me out. It is currently listed as Blue Ridge Supply and Millwork, but it's 9,000 square feet of open space, and it's an amazing place. And God opened the door. We worked, but He worked harder, and we just followed Him into an opening. And so that we will begin meeting there at this point in time. It looks like October 11th will be our first Sunday morning meeting there. And drive by, pray over it, do a drive-by prayer. Or you can go and get on your knees. You can do anything. But begin praying into how the Lord would use it in the high country to bless other churches and to use it as a resource center and a launch platform of what He wants to do with us, in us, through us, and to be a blessing to this region. Okay? So I'm excited about that, and I wanted to announce that. And it's so very God-weird that it is when we begin to celebrate tabernacling. And yay God. Can you say yay God?
Yay God!
Yay God. So, part of the other neat thing of that for me is this week, as I come back, I get to reach back into when my kids were in high school and bring up a young kid back then who used to wake me up when we were church planting in Cary, Raleigh area. This young man would come and knock on my door like at 11 at night as I was getting ready to go to bed. He'd knock on my door and keep me up for a couple hours, telling me that he and a couple other buddies were driving around, I can't even remember the name of the beltway around Raleigh, 285, what is that? 440. He was doing the 440 loop, praying around the city, and praying for the city, and just wanted to share what God was showing him. Then he'd call me up another night and say, oh, can I stop by and tell you? We were going to the hospitals tonight with a couple buddies, and we were praying for the sick in the emergency room, and that they would be healed so they wouldn't have to, wait in line at the hospital. And I'd go, oh yeah, great, Ben. Yeah, let me go to bed. And then he'd say, oh, and then we got thrown out. And then we got to pray for the guard that threw us out of the hospital. And I would go, and in my enthusiasm of wanting to go to bed, I would go, wow, this is really powerful. Can I go to bed now? And Ben had this effervescent, exuberant faith that he was acting out. And it mobilized me. And we need to be that people, and we need to have those people around us that call us up. And it's more than cheerleading. It is growing faith. It is growing faith that God is in the midst of us. Because we have days and weeks of feeling like we're making bricks without straw. And you may be in that place today, and we want to pray for you at the end of our time together. If you're making bricks without straw, you're just grinding, you're in hardship and trouble. But I'm going to tell you, this guy, Ben Wickel, who's one of the pastors at Antioch, Raleigh, has been nothing but an encouragement to Becky and I and all of our family over the years. He is a trusted family friend. He's a brother in the Lord.
Yeah.
And he's like a son to me. So I just want to welcome Ben up here, and I tell you, he will. No expectations on him, but I would